What's up? Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Sunday. Sunday fun day. College football playoff selection Sunday. Sunday, December 24th, 2022. I'm your host, Joe from the Buckeye Cast. Oh boy. What about some mayhem yesterday on championship week? Friday night, you had USC going down. Saturday, TCU went down. I don't think it's going to affect TCU at all, but today we're going to talk playoffs. We got the announcements coming up here at noon. It's about 10:30 a.m. Eastern right now as I'm recording this. I'm going to give you my top four. It's probably not going to be much of a surprise. I think common sense would tell us that the committee is going to probably have the same order, and then we'll talk some spreads and how these teams match up in which bowls. So let's get into it. All right. Number one, here's my CFP top four. Georgia, number one, they put up 50 on LSU. That was not much of a ball game at all, especially when Jaden Daniels went down. I know they were able to throw the ball better, but didn't matter. Didn't make a difference. Georgia is obviously the best team in the country. By the way, let's talk about the SEC for a second. This is the worst SEC I've seen in a long time. This might be the worst Bama team we've seen since Saban took over. I'm talking 2007, 2008, something like that, man. They're garbage. And I saw Saban on all the talk shows, all the hits, all the media hits with his crimson blazer talking shit, stumping for his team. I know. I understand your job, but there's no fucking way Bama's getting into this top four. Enjoy the Sugar Bowl or whatever. Anyways, so Georgia beats up on the garbage. I mean, a 3-loss team was in the freaking SEC championship game, for Christ's sake. That's what you get for having divisions, man. Should have deleted that shit. So anyways, number one is Georgia. Number two, I got Michigan. They put it on Purdue late in the game, as they like to do. They like to score deep in the fourth to make it look like a blowout. It was a little tight at the half, but Purdue just couldn't finish fucking drives and stick it in the end zone. You got to get sevens against Michigan. You can't settle for threes. They couldn't get Charlie Jones going late in the game in the second half. So. Yeah, that's about all they had going for them. So Michigan, number two, your Big Ten champs. Let's go TCU, number three. TCU, number three. I know that they did lose in overtime. That was a tight ball game. K-State looked great. Max Duggan. I know he's a baller, gamer. You got all these adjectives for him, but he's good. TCU, you got one loss. You lost your championship game. I think that's the only difference. The TCU playing in their conference championship game is the only difference between them and Ohio State. Ohio State one loss, but did not play in a championship game. And that's how the committee is gonna differentiate the two. They're gonna say at least TCU has this 13th data point, so TCU in a conference that actually does it right without divisions. TCU slides into 3, or doesn't move actually, and then USC is out at 4. Buckeyes slide into the 4 hole, and you could say, they don't deserve it, whatever. What the hell does deserve it mean? I mean, like I said last week, I feel like I deserve strippers and cupcakes every day, but do you see, strippers grinding on me right now? Do you see me eating fluffy frosting covered cupcakes? No. So deserve is just an arbitrary word that, it's subjective. There's no defined, you deserve this. So, Buckeyes are one of the top 4 teams in the country. I explained this on the Daily Blitz yesterday. If you go back and check that out on Saturday, why Ohio State is still one of the best teams in the country. So let's look at these matchups. I got some spreads. Some of the Vegas models have already spit out some spreads for the matchups. Buckeyes, if they were to play TCU, so let's say my order is garbage, and they would mix it up and maybe flip TCU and Ohio State or something. So, anyways, this is Ohio State versus TCU. Ohio State would be favored by 10.5, an over/under of 64. So a high scoring affair there, but that's a huge difference between. That kind of tells you the committee doesn't know what they're talking about at times. And I don't think they want that matchup with Ohio State and Michigan. If they were to make Ohio State 3 and have that 2-3 right off the bat, I think they want to save that just in their back pocket, just in case Ohio State beats Georgia and you get Ohio State, Michigan for the national championship. I think they want to save that possibility, not blow their wad too soon. So look at the difference here. 10.5 Ohio State versus TCU. That's insane. That's insane, but I can't disagree. I mean, the Big 12 is a garbage conference. I can't argue. So Ohio State versus Georgia, which is the matchup we're probably going to see. I got Georgia favored by 2 on a neutral field. These are all neutral field spreads, and an over/under of 59.5. So that is the matchup we're probably going to see. I can't wait to see Ohio State's receivers against Georgia's secondary and CJ Stroud. Wow, yeah, that's gonna be fun. And if Ohio State did play Michigan here in the first round, it would be a pick 'em. So we went from a heavy favorite in the rivalry game down to a pick 'em against Michigan, over/under of 63.5. So those are the spreads we have as of right now. So Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl is going to be Saturday, December 31st on ESPN. And like I mentioned, my rankings would have Georgia #1 versus #4 Ohio State in Atlanta. We got to talk to the president and CEO of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Gary Stoken. We had him on the show about a month ago. That guy's got some info. Maybe he can hook us up with some ticks. Check out that College Football Hall of Fame since they moved it down to Atlanta years ago. Yeah, I want to ask him why. Anyways, the other playoff game is the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, Saturday, December 31st on ESPN as well. And there we got Michigan versus TCU. So that's the 2 versus 3 matchup out there in Glendale. So yeah, I think Michigan wins that easily. I'm not sure what the spreads will be, but those will come out today after they announce the Final Four officially. And then the national championship game will be January 9th on ESPN, of course. So I'm going Ohio State versus Michigan for the championship. That's my prediction right now. But we have a lot of questions we need to answer. Will JSN come back? Will Jackson suit it up one more time after having months of rehab on that hamstring? Is he good to go? I don't know. Is Travion going to hop in the portal on Monday? That's a big thing hanging out there. Wiped Ohio State off of his social media profiles. So I don't know. He's an emotional kid, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure. Got some depth coming back, but that's assuming everybody stays healthy and assuming Mayan returns, which I would. So I think the Buckeyes are the most dangerous team in this playoff. They're playing with house money. That they got nothing to lose. I know that their first 2 goals are not achievable. They lost to Michigan, did not get into the Big Ten championship in Indy, didn't make the trip to Indy. So, but you do have the chance to win a national championship. And how fucking sweet would it be to beat Michigan for the national championship? I don't know. That's icing on the cake, if you ask me. I think these players, the big thing for Coach Day, besides playing loose and fast and aggressive, let's bring that back. And then motivating these players, have these guys, any of them, checked out. Some of the guys are already thinking about the NFL, like they announced, like Ronnie Hickman before the Michigan game, that this was his last game in his shoe. So can you get these guys together for a crack at the playoffs. I mean, this is a one time. You don't get many opportunities like this. You know, if they're going to let you in, you got to take full advantage and just let it all hang out, man. And same for the players, coaches, everybody across the board. Go hard for this next month. Practice, get healthy. Hopefully we can get everybody back that doesn't have a season-ending injury. Get everybody back. I don't know if JSN, I doubt he comes back, but if we get everybody back healthy and we have a month to game plan for Georgia, I am extremely confident in this Buckeye team. So that's all I got for you today. Don't forget tonight, YouTube Live, 8 p.m. We're only going till 9 o'clock. I got to get up early Monday morning and drive to Asheville, North Carolina for a little Christmas vacation. So we're only going 8 to 9 tonight. So check your YouTube Live, subscribe to the channel. Me, Jeff, and Sean will react to the top four. We might make some plans, like are we going to Atlanta? We'll see about that. But that's all I got for you. As always, appreciate you, and go Bucks.